Hey, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I am joined by.
This is Dr. Dad for Dominum.
It's great to be chatting to you this evening. The Dead Don't Die is amazing. How pleased are you with the finished product?
Actually, it's unbelievable to have that finished product in my hands because it was a very crazy year for us. We played so many shows, and I mean, to be really honest, our last record is not even 1 year ago released. So it was a busy year as well. So yeah, totally excited.
Sorry, my cat likes to make an appearance. Get down. Sorry about this,
Oh,
little bugger. Right. So, without a doubt, will be becoming Germany's hottest metal band in 2025. How excited are you about that prospect?
oh, no pressure, no pressure. No, of course. I mean, things are going well. It's crazy actually to see so much is happening all the time, and I don't take that for granted at all. It's we are playing our first headline tour in 2 weeks, which is amazing. Which is not something that is very common for a band that has a history like us. So we are just very grateful that people seem to like zombie metal. So yeah, I mean we keep on working and we keep on writing music and we never stop writing music because this was also the only way of being able to put out a record in not even 1 year after the debut. You know, we constantly writing music
Yeah.
to stay in the flow and to be able to deliver when some people come and say, "Hey man, how you doing? What about a second record? Can you deliver it next week?" And then I'm like, "Yes, I can."
That's brilliant. I mean, I've had the album about a week now, like listening on. It's very addictive. I keep listening and listening to it. Don't Get Bitten by the Wrong Ones is my favourite track on the album.
Really?
And
Let's see
I,
what shirt I have. Can you read that? It's
yeah,
my
I can
shirt.
see that. Yeah, yeah. Don't get rid. Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. So I reckon that would make an amazing video next.
Well, you have a good sense for singles, I would say then. And it might be that on the 27th of December, you will find something you like on YouTube. It will show a different side of Dr. Dad's character because like in all videos we've done so far, Dr. Dad came in, someone else came in, we zombified that one, and then everything was perfect. We loved it. And in this particular video, things are going a bit differently, so you might be into that, hopefully.
Totally, I'm sure I will be. So how often then have you actually been bitten by the wrong ones?
I mean, obviously it's a metaphor. I haven't been that often bitten, but it's. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say with that phrase. But I think we all have that people in our lives, or we had that people in our lives where we felt like, okay, this is totally getting in a wrong direction. This is getting the new world would say it's getting a bit toxic and so whatever. So if someone is not good for you or something is not good for you, you better be aware of that and maybe change something in the situation here. So but I think we all have got bitten by the wrong ones at some point.
So The Dead Don't Die has an inspiration from a child's nursery rhyme and it's superb. Can you tell me then, do you all like sit down and brainstorm the lyrics or is it down to you?
The funny thing is that lyrics come always very last. It's so for the Dead and Die, we've written that song. I wrote the song together with Ben Metzner from Feuerschwanz, and we've written that song, and we had in mind, okay, it's gonna be, "Don't be scared, now the dead don't die." That was the only bit that was final during the writing process, and the rest was just some BS English that we just invent because we're Germans and we can just talk nonsense in English and no one cares. And then at the very last point of the songwriting, you'd have to think of some lyrics. And then I have a brilliant friend, which is called Robin Felder. He's very good at it, and he helps me out here. So we ping pong ideas back and forth. And it's, on this record, it's a lot of collaborations. And this is where it gets interesting to me because whenever two people that have a vibe get together, no matter what they do, it gets better.
Mm.
So
Absolutely.
and it was the same like with writing that song. I play something and then Ben goes, I think this is horrible. Then I don't get mad at him. I just put it in the trash and play something else. And it's the same with lyrics, you know, if you have someone that you vibe with, it's a cool thing, and I really appreciate that. I mean, we're social creatures, and so every collaboration you can get something out.
Real. I love the video for Forlorn. Where was
All
that
right.
film? Actually filmed in a churchyard.
That was an actual graveyard, which
Wow.
was, yeah, it was unbelievable to me because this director guy, I asked him, so is that like a movie set or whatever? No, he's like, no. I was like, is it an actual graveyard? Yes. I was like, but can we shoot there? I mean, this is a bit on the edge, actually. Can we do
Yeah.
that? He was like, yeah, I have it here on the paper. We can do it. It's I have permission. So he had an actual permission to shoot a zombie video on the graveyard. And he told me the story of, I was like, do they know what kind of video we're doing there? And he was like, I told
I,
them they were um, a bit weird when they heard that we are going to shoot a zombie video, but in the end they were okay, let's do it. And during the video shoot, the police came because the shoot obviously went into the night, and having a film set in the night at a graveyard is not the most you get seen, let's put it that way. And so I went there with the makeup and everything. I went to, because they were having like flashlights direct, they couldn't get in because the graveyard was locked after 8 o'clock. So they put in flashlights into my eyes and was walking, no, stop, everything is fine. And then I came with the makeup and everything. And they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? We was like, we are shooting a music video. They were like, you're doing what? And I was like, yeah, I know, but we have a permission. And they were like, you don't have a permission. I was like, yeah, look at it. We have it right here. And then they were like, oh, cool. What kind of video is it? And they were like super into it. So in the end, we're all forlorn.
you should have got them to join in, mate. You should have.
We should, but they didn't catch the vibe too much.
So what do you do in videos like that? How long does it actually take to get it absolutely perfect? Or is it just like one shoot?
We are not a huge band, so we are kind of limited also in our budget. And making videos is the most expensive thing you can imagine doing. It's insane how expensive it gets in no time. It's just insane because you have to have, the most important thing is a good director. Then you have to have a very good location. Then you have to have lights, and then we did some pyrotechnics. You know all that stuff. So we are limited to have done a video in one day, which is doable if you don't have like massive location changes, because this is where it gets messy when you have to carry all that stuff from one location to another. If it's all set, you can shoot, no worries. But if you have like two locations, you have to build up everything twice and build it down once, you know.
Yeah.
So usually it takes one day for us to shoot a video.
Okay. So did you have any like weird occurrences while you were in the graveyard? Anything weird happen?
Yes, indeed. There was we had a makeup girl with us. She was very cool. And then at some point, you know, we had our base in the church. So this is where we put all our bags and all our stuff and everything. But from let's say 7 in the evening on, it was completely dark at the graveyard. It was just spooky. It was really spooky. So the only place where there was proper lights was in the church and also on the film set, which was on the other side of the graveyard. So to get from the church to the film set, you had to walk through the dark graveyard with your flashlight. Like every horror movie starts like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then at some point she came running to say, I'm not going out there anymore. There is someone out there. We were like, what? No one's out there. Like, yeah, someone is out there. And indeed, I walked outside and I've seen our director, and he had like a tube light, you know, there was those tube lights with batteries. And I've just seen a running tube light across the graveyard. He was running with the tube lights after a guy that was hidden in the graveyard.
No way.
Really. And so they had some securities at the graveyard, and our director and the securities were chasing this guy, this freaked out guy that was hidden in the night in the graveyard. So they threw him out, and then the graveyard was safe again. But this was really, I mean,
Crazy.
every horror movie starts like this, right?
It does, man. You even have a version of the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane. Why that particular song? It's really well done as well. I really like it.
Thank you. So the Scorpion song was because it's the 40th birthday of that song this year. So in February, the song was released 40 years ago, which is insane because I played it to my younger brother yesterday, and he doesn't know anything about rock or metal, nothing.
Right.
And he still knew the song. Even though he's my younger brother, even though he has no idea who the Scorpions are, he knew the song, which is quite impressive. So we thought it might be a nice gesture, a nice homage to the Scorpions to just give them a birthday present, which they probably never heard, but still, we tried to have a little tribute for the Scorpions because it's obviously Scorpions are very important for our genre.
So on release day, you plan to have a release party and even live streaming?
Yes, we are having a headline tour going on, so which will start on the 26th of December, roughly in 2 weeks, which will start in Nuremberg in our hometown. And on the release date, the 27th, we will be in Munich. And this will be a massive release party, man, because we just sold. So there's the backstage in Munich, this venue called, they have three venues. One is like 200-ish for smaller gigs. One is 550 capacity, which was for us, meant to be for us. And they have one big, like where we've been on tour with Feuerschwanz and with like bigger bands play. And 2 weeks ago, we sold the middle one out, so it was upgraded to the big one, which is fantastic. So it's going to be hell of a release party there. Just
That's
looking forward to everything, man. I can't tell you.
That's going to be amazing. What's been the most memorable show you've played today?
All shows, I can remember all shows. But I would say the craziest one was maybe playing at Rock Hearts in the middle of the night because we played at 1 a.m. At Rock Hearts and we had a pyro show going on, which was fantastic because we did play for a band like us on a level like we are. It's not very common to play in the middle of the night at a festival. We had like an after headliner slot, of course, but still the place was packed, and so that was very special. But also playing at the Grasspop Festival was something very special. I mean, we shared the stage with Alice Cooper on that day. Playing with Bruce Dickinson was also surreal to have like the dressing room next to Bruce Dickinson and Bruce saying, "Hey man, that was a cool show." I was like, "All right, really?" That's just
That's amazing.
surreal. Yeah, it really is.
That's things dreams are made of, totally. All right, so as we're coming up towards Christmas, is there a particular Christmas song that you guys could cover?
That's a good question. You got to tell me. There is nothing, there is nothing planned so far, but it might be a nice idea to have a zombie Christmas album, maybe. That you can put on when you enjoy Christmas peacefully with your family.
Absolutely. If there was a made-up metal song out yourself, what would it be called? Like a totally made-up song?
Dr. Zombie Sensitive.
If you could only listen to 2 albums for a year, which would you choose?
So that would be Ozzy Osbourne Black Rain album and Slipknot Volume 3.
Either or either, yeah? So do you prefer festivals or small intimate gigs?
So that's hard to tell because both is great. I mean, as said, playing those huge festivals is just a surreal experience because you have this field full of people, and when you say jump, 80,000 people's jump. This is just something.
Insane.
What the fuck is going on? It's just insane. But still, when you are like in a club and you do the same thing, it can be also a very cool thing because it's warmer It's sweatier. You get the immediate reaction. You don't have like 10 meters between the people, and you get really see the faces and see what they really feel. It's more intimate than rather having a crowd, because basically when you hear people clapping at a festival, it's not. It's more like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's also cool. I can't decide, mate. I can't decide.
No worries. Do you prefer vinyl or digital?
I would say I like both, but what I like about vinyl is that you have to commit to listening to music. So when you put on a vinyl, it ends after 20 minutes, and then you have to turn it around. So it's a very conscious thing to do. So
Yeah.
you sit in front of your vinyl player or your stereo, whatever, and then you listen to the album, which is rarely done when you like listen to a Spotify playlist, which is perfectly fine. Like when you do workout or cook or whatever you do, you also need music for those kind of occasions. But when you sit in front, which I've done yesterday night, which is funny enough, like listening to Pink Floyd record yesterday night, which was great. I mean, imagine listening to a Pink Floyd record in a playlist. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It doesn't make any sense at all. It
Don't
doesn't.
listen to the whole album.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. I was showing my brother one track of the Wall, which I was like, that's such a cool track. But then I realized, okay, I skipped into it, and it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, dude, you have to listen to the whole thing. He was like,
You do.
really? I said, yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Do you prefer bratwurst or beer?
What was the first one?
Bratwurst.
What is
German
that?
sausage. German sausage.
Ah, Bratwurst.
English. Bratwurst. Bratwurst.
I was thinking, okay, what kind of drink is that? Because beer versus. Okay, so I have to decide what I prefer of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the most best thing is to have both together, to be honest. But we are having Christmas market right now in Germany, or like the Christmas market season starts, and I have to really say, having a bratwurst in a roll is just a very peaceful thing. Like when you're outside, there's a billion of people running around, and you just get some bratwurst and stand at next door and watch the people. That's a fantastic thing to do. So today I would decide towards the bratwurst.
Brilliant. Do you prefer Accept or Ramstein?
Tough one, very tough one. I would have to say Rammstein, because I mean, I appreciate Accept very much, and probably they are closer to what we are doing right now. But my childhood was very Rammsteiny, so probably Rammstein has a bigger impact on my life.
Real. And the last one then is Oktoberfest or Wacken.
Wacken for sure. Wacken for sure. I mean, because at Wacken there are the people that I like to be around.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. You meet people at Wacken, everyone is nice, everyone wants the same thing as you. Everyone just wants to have a good time, and yeah, everyone is just cool. And on Oktoberfest, I mean, of course, I don't want to say like everyone's an asshole being on an Oktoberfest, not at all. But it's just not my cup of tea. And you know, you have the right music at Wacken. The music on Oktoberfest is not my cup of tea too much. So that was not a hard one to choose, to be honest.
All right, man. I want to thank you so much for your time, and again, congratulate you on the album. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Of course, please don't get bitten by the wrong ones.
Slayer.